All right, ladies and gentlemen, we move on with our fourth bout this evening. Would you please welcome to the cage, Arsen Tumasevics. And would you welcome his opponent to the cage, Jaroslav Casi. This is amateur K1 over 3 2-minute rounds in the welterweight division. And in the blue corner, he weighed in at 76.5 K. He represents Demons Kickboxing, Arsen Tumasevics. And his opponent in the red corner, he weighed in at 77.6 K. He represents Team Kenshiro, Jaroslav Casi. Your referee, Mr. Sam Amidi.
So, Dean, we stay with the K1 action, and I think it's fair to say we've seen Arsen Tumasevics before here, and he's a very powerful young man, very entertaining from the Demons Kickboxing. Against him in the red corner, Jaroslav Casi from Team Kenshiro.
Team Kenshiro, known for being technically very tough, and they're just able to think on the fly. Nothing phases them. Kenny Moisten, the head of their camp, a great fighter in himself, very tough, very powerful fighter, and that trickles down to his students. So this looks like to be a barn burner of a fight.
I agree with you, Dean, because I said Arsen Tumasevics, a very talented and tough fighter as well, with good power, and as you saw, they're really getting the hip into that low kick.
Tumasevics looking for that left hand, left hook, and the uppercut, lands a left hook there.
And again, as you said, Jaroslav Casi looking to push forward as well. But I had a feeling when I saw this one on the card that it could be explosive.
Jaroslav Casi. Oh, brutal leg kick there from Casi. I love the way he keeps his hands up. So he fires that technique out, Malcolm, but he's making sure he's protecting his head.
Well, the other thing you see at amateur level with some fighters is when they go for the technique, either to jam with the leg or throw the leg, the eyes drift down. They didn't, as you said there. His eyes didn't drift down, and as a result, nor did his guard.
Nice stiff jab from Jaroslav. Very reactive fighter. He'll absorb the damage through the blocks, the peekaboo stance, and see he's put his hand out there, Malcolm. He's gauging the distance and trying to offset the balance of Tumasevics.
Yes, and that said, Tumasevics just missed with a shovel uppercut from the outside. But it's intriguing so far. At amateur level, these are two very skilled men. And I said it's the little things, Dean, as we mentioned. It's the way you're either checking or you're giving. But there again, a bit of Arsen felt he had an advantage there, and he tried to push it. Jaroslav takes the shot and then comes back, but a very good open round between these two.
Tumasevics has some good power. He's looking for that right hand. He sets it up beautifully with the left hook, but missed it on that occasion.
Well, if we look at the red corner first, one of the things I want to pick up on that you said earlier was his technique. Like yourself, I like the way that even when he's throwing the technique, he's also got the defensive maneuvers, because sometimes when you throw a low leg kick or you check a low leg kick, it's human nature at amateur level especially to look down, you let your eyes drift, and without knowing it subconsciously, it's not just your eyes that drift, it's your guard. But this hasn't happened with this man. As he said, that comes from his schooling and the people you're going to be against in your training camp.
Just a testament again to the LFC, the matchmaker Leo. They just put on such extravaganza, a feast of a fight for us here at the LFC 11. Cannot wait for the next round.
So round two coming up of a very well-matched bout indeed, and you feel that both men carry power. I like the way they really put the power into the kicks as well, the torque in those low leg kicks from both men.
Jaroslav stalking forward, but he's got his guard nice and tight. He's got his elbows dipped down low to block the potential body shots. Jaroslav working that lead leg trip. He'll skip his lead leg out and try and trip Jaroslav off to the left.
Yes, Arsen Tumasevics, as you noticed, has got really onto his toes in this round, Dean, and looking to move more fluidly. And a nice inside leg kick, right hand combination, and then the teep. But as you said, it's a tough guard to get through from Jaroslav. He's got a very good tight guard, and this is making this one a very close bout indeed.
I like to see.
Oh, that right hand suddenly changed things from Tumasevics.
Jaroslav wisely looking for the clinch, and Tumasevics was very anxious to get that restarted, because if you rock the fighter, Malcolm, as we all know, it's going to be easier to gain the KO, and looks like Tumasevics is looking for the KO. This one, nice knee there from Jaroslav.
Well, Tumasevics, it was 4 or 5 cheap kicks in a row like he's doing there. There is a cut now on the forehead of Jaroslav from that, and it's really changed the dynamic of this bout. Where it was so even, Tumasevics has really asserted his authority here in the second and just pummeling forward those deep kicks.
Tumasevics is setting up that right hand, either the straight right to the head or the overhand right. And we know Jaroslav has got a great guard, but if you take a big, powerful punch, it often resonates through your arms, Malcolm, to your head.
Well, the other thing that happened in that moment as well was eventually, after the fourth cheap, he went to parry it, and that's when the right hand came over the top. So you know that Arsen Tumasevics was actually looking for that. Now, for me, Dean, I don't know about you, that went then suddenly a big round in Tumasevics' favour.
Tumasevics coming out with leg kicks, the beautiful knees, setting up the right hand. He's disguising what he wants to do, and he's going upstairs and downstairs.
So for me, the interesting thing here is how Jaroslav Casi reacts there. I think he's got to be more aggressive in this round after that last rounding.
Casi's corner was telling him to bam, 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 bam. What he means is throw punches in bunches, more combinations to keep Tumasevics busy.
That said, I like the movement of Tumasevics, that cheap kick off either leg that he throws, and then he brings the hands in over the top. As I said, we've seen him before, he's a real handful.
Casi now landing those punishing leg kicks. And if he can still land those and keep his head off that center line, see there, when he's utilizing his techniques, he's keeping his head there. He needs to slip off to the side, keep his guard up.
And there's that cheap again that's been pushed into his face throughout the previous round, and the knee comes underneath. Breathes heavily, and as he walks forward, a good jab from Tumasevics. The best weapon, as you said, for Casi is those chopping low kicks. He brings the knee in, but Tumasevics is really on a roll, especially with the boxing. And talking of rolls, do you notice the way he just rolls his shoulder to come up, back up with the explosive right hand?
If Casi can time the left hook, if you notice, when Tumasevics fires that jab out, he's dropping his right hand, Malcolm. If
also, when he rolls as well, Dean, if he can counter that, as you said, it's the perfect counter from the roll because you catch him on the way up.
Well, the left hook connected there. Tumasevics went stumbling back. He could be hurt.
He is hurt, Dean. He is hurt. And Casi, I think, if he's not aware of it, his corner is. And Tumasevics is still hurt.
Casi needs to pour it on now. He needs to headhunt, go low, go high, go to the body, really mix up the shots. Has he got it in the gas tank? That is the question.
Tumasevics looking to come back, but he could be here for the taking, as you said, if Casi can do it. Throwing leather to try and keep Casi off, but he was hurt there, the most important point of the whole fight, but there's seconds left now, Dean.
Both athletes trying to make a stamp on the judges' scorecards. Nice knee on the inside from Casi.
Oh, a big finish from the man in the red corner. I've got a feeling across the 3 rounds it will be going blue, but I'm not sure if he realised just how much he hurt him there in the 3rd.
Casi really came to fruit in that last round, but could it be too little too late? Ultimately, we will go to the judges' scorecards.
Ladies and gentlemen, before the official announcement, what an absolute war from these 2 men. Please, let's hear it for both your warriors in the cage. And they have taken us to a split decision in favor of the red corner, Jaroslav Casi.